So what is the nature of groups? We're going to start out here with collective wisdom, and then we're going to add to this list as we go. In the 1800s, Francis Galton tested his idea that most people were not very intelligent and crowds even less so. That was his theory. He attended a fair where people paid a small amount for a ticket on which they submitted their estimates of a cow's weight in hopes of winning a prize. Afterwards, Galton obtained the 800 tickets and compared their mean. The mean was closer than any individual estimate. Much to Galton's surprise, groups proved to be wiser than individuals. This book outlines a long tradition of research that refutes the fact that groups produce stupid judgments. The book is based around a particular study similar to Galton's, finding that the group mean was much closer than any individual guess regarding the number of jelly beans in a jar. Here's some further evidence. No sports expert is consistently better able to predict the outcome of a sports event than the final betting line, which is based on bets of many, right? Likewise, almost no stockbroker can consistently pick winning stocks better than the market as a whole. Also, there's records from the TV show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, a question and answer game show. Stumped contestants can call an expert, meaning the most knowledgeable person the contestant knows, or they can poll the audience. Now, calling the expert produces the right answer about 2/3 of the time, but the audience produces it 91% of the time. On the other hand, groups produce a feeling of de-individuation, meaning a feeling of less personal identity and accountability. This causes members to behave more deviantly than individuals. As an example of that, look at the picture on the slide. In 2007, after the Los Angeles Lakers won the National Basketball Association championship, part of the crowd who left the event celebrating went wild. They set fire to trash cans, a stand of opponents' shirts, and trees. They stomped car windshields, ripped down signs, and finally they broke into and looted stores. Note how de-individuation can turn a grouping into a true group. In a study we will call the trick-or-treat study, researchers met children at the door on Halloween, children who were alone or in groups. The researchers asked some of their names and where they lived and did not ask others. The kids were then invited to take one piece of candy from a bowl as the researchers left the porch. Children in groups were significantly more likely to take more than one piece compared to those who were alone. And of those groups of kids, especially those who were not asked for identifying information. Through many such studies, researchers have determined that de-individuation arises from feelings of anonymity in a crowd, which leads to a lack of personal accountability, and arousal, which then leads to impulsivity. Did you get that? All right. A lot of mischief happens on Halloween night. What else contributes to anonymity on Halloween besides the fact that kids are often in groups and their names and addresses are not known? Can you guess? And the answer is masks. Another defining characteristic of groups is crowd contagion. Throughout history, people have been subject to many extraordinary collective delusions. Irrational sprees, manias, conspiracy theories, panics. Often they begin with a single individual or group and then spread like a virus throughout an entire population. For example, in 1999, people across the United States bought into a conspiracy theory that the entire global economy was going to crash because someone forgot to type a couple of digits into computer programs, thus not allowing for dates beyond the 1900s. Makers of bottled water, generators, flashlights, canned food, etc. made record sales as people flooded the stores trying to prepare for what became called Y2K, the year of 2000. Just for your interest, this is one of my favorite books on this topic. It provides many examples of de-individuation and crowd contagion. It's titled Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds. Yet another characteristic of groups is social facilitation. Do you think having an audience would foster or facilitate or harm one's performance? Foster it or harm it? Triplett conducted what often gets credit for being the very first publication study in social psychology in the late 1800s. He had children reel in fishing line alone or with others and found they wound faster when they were with others. But later research showed very mixed results. Audiences helped some performances and hurt others. What do you think accounted for the difference? Take a guess. Now, science research offered an elegant solution. If it is something really simple or something you've learned to do really well, an audience facilitates your performance because it's a great kind of excitement. If it is a task that's more difficult for you, an audience will hurt your performance and can even choke you. Science even found this tendency with cockroaches, believe it or not. An audience of other cockroaches helped their performance in completing a simple maze, but hurt their performance of a more complex one. How might this conclusion apply to test anxiety? Here you go. If you understudy, test anxiety can result because testing causes evaluation anxiety. If you overstudy, though, it's a very different kind of arousal, a very beneficial one, an exciting one. You perceive the test as a chance to show your truly white teeth. This is an image of the virtual person in a recent social facilitation study, a virtual person. The presence of this virtual human watching participants doing a single task triggered the same degree of social facilitation effects as a real human watching them. This virtual guy was programmed to appear to have flexible facial muscles through slight movements over time, appeared to breathe through movement of the nostrils and soft audio effects, and appeared to blink realistically. Isn't he cute? Or spooky?